Hi, thanks for tuning into my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle, been known by, whatever. Anyway, so I'm passing Lorena, Texas, going southbound, and I recognized the smiley face from the other side of the road. That would be where I was, or around the vicinity of, in reference to calling 911 for that semi-truck accident. The median, the concrete median where the one truck driver was, and then the upside down, turned around dump truck. That would be where I was when I called 911, and the female that answered the 911 phone call wanted to talk instead of getting assistance for the semi-truck driver. That would be also the same collision in reference to where I got out of my car after essentially calling 911 to get them there, and I had handed the cell phone to another semi-truck driver who was there when I went to go run into the upside down turned over dump truck to climb in to turn off the engine to be able to get the guy out of the cab of the car, as all of the chemicals were doing what the chemicals were doing. So yeah, if that female that was on the 911 phone call would have actually listened, probably wouldn't have been as bad as it was for a collision. So that's a lesson for anybody in the hypothetical situation in regards to hacking cell phones. You probably shouldn't do it because, there are people who actually need to use the cell phone for various aspects. And so, great, I was able to get through in other regards, but whoever that female was on the 911 phone call that wasted a whole bunch of time because of the stupid games she wanted to play. I'm glad that the semi-truck driver was able to get the assistance that he needed, as well as the others. However, that hypothetical in regards to the hacking stuff, when it comes to cell phone stuff, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Not just because, you have no right to, but also because you put people's lives at risk because of your dumb games. And I hope so much in regards to that particular individual. So, for whatever excuse, as far as that female is concerned, for wanting to talk and check to see how I was doing, instead of getting the semi-truck drivers the assistance that they needed, I hope so much for her. Stupid garbage. So yeah, other than the fact that it should technically, if it's not already illegal to do the hacking thing, it definitely should be. However, in regards to that, people, you're supposed to use 911 when it's an emergency. That was an emergency. That particular semi-truck driver, he needed medical assistance. And I did what I could do energetically to help him and stuff like that. However, You know, why are people so dumb to think that that'd be a good idea to freaking do that? And then, because of the amount of times that I called 911 when on my Medal of Honor art project trips, if hypothetically the female in the red Hyundai and the male that was a passenger and the 2 or 3 people that were in the back seat of the car were also, in addition to certain stuff like that, get a clue. Do you not have anything better to do? Waste of flesh, in my opinion. Because where the semi-truck driver could have gotten medical assistance sooner, yeah, okay, I did what I could do energetically. Okay, fine, great. However, you know, he probably wouldn't have lost as much blood as he did if that female on the other end of the 911 phone call didn't waste so much time wanting to talk and see what was going on instead of getting the police officers, fire department, and EMS out to the scene quicker. So, it's in Lorena, Texas, in that vicinity. Because of the smiley face thing that I saw on the sign. Sort of garbage. Stupid female. Another thing. And hypothetically speaking, if Christine from the Jade Wolf Coven was so bored because her existence was as boring as she was and as homely as she looked, then, you know, do something to be better instead of causing problems for other people. The irony is that, you know, she had claimed that she had been a Satanist. She claimed that Lucifer was her patron. She didn't like it when I informed her that Lucifer wouldn't touch her with other people's stuff because of how disgraceful and disgusting she is and was back then. She didn't like that. She also tried to tell me that she knew more about the Bible than I did, having never read it. She never read it. So she tried to say she knew more about the Bible than I did, and I had read it multiple times from front to back. And then she tried to tell me that she didn't believe that Jesus Christ was, like, actually worthwhile. I informed her otherwise. And so, yeah, So, yeah, seeing how I had issues getting help for people in multiple locations when calling 911. If hypothetically, because she had nothing better to do, because, you know, she was a stay-at-home mom, and instead of actually being a mom, she preferred to play games. I mean, what type of... And then she tried to claim that because she was from Abilene, Texas, that meant that, you know, she was some special whatever. And oh yeah, she's special. She's special. But isn't it ironic that she wanted to do a ritual in the Jade Wolf Coven and threw such a fit about it that she wanted like a blood bonding sort of thing and that whole garbage, and what she got was the blood that I had from a blister, which, for those who know what blister or blood blisters are, that's dead blood, and that blood was as black as her soul. got. Her and the Jade Wolf Coven. That's all that they got was blackness. The nothingness. That which was already gone. Because she was already an empty vessel to begin with. In my opinion. However, I did save Christine from the Jade Wolf Coven a few times. I regret doing so. You know, like at Joe's Volcano, that dance club. I regret doing so at this point. I regret saving her from what she could have dealt with. I did that for, you know, her then husband Mike and their children. But I regret doing so. I found a regret, look. But yeah, I would guesstimate Mike would be able to discuss how much of a nagging, pain in the butt type of female she was and is. I mean, not just the aspect of, you know, the fact that he could fit both of his hands inside of her and be able to clap in order to feel the edges of the wall of each side. That's what I was told. I would guesstimate there's a few males who would be able to clarify that that is quite accurate in regards to her. That's what happens when you are not selective in that regard. Christine. However, yes, she had made fun of me along with my biological sister, Patricia Ann Palm Miller, about how bad I am with technology after my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. The two of them thought it was hilarious, and Christine of the Jade Wolf Coven definitely had a problem with the fact that I'm a Republican. She had a problem with quite a few things. But one of the things that she had told me is she wished that she was capable of other things such as multi-orgasm sort of thing, and she had wished she could be a squirter. And I let her know, sucks for you because it's fantastic. She didn't like that. She's very envious of that in a negative way. Told her that doesn't change. For someone like her. So maybe if she, you know, wasn't such a problem in certain regards, she would have had it better. However, that could just be me being me. Or absolutely accurate, either way. Nonetheless, Christine of the Jade Wolf Coven really didn't like being called Christine. She didn't like it because I had pointed out that her name had Christ in it. And she had quite a few issues in various ways. And yeah. Uh-huh. actually had thought that Michael Moore would want her because she had the biggest crush on Michael Moore and wanted to have his babies. I let her know that if Michael Moore ever found out that she found him attractive, he'd probably be disgusted. She got offended by me saying that, and I think I'm fairly accurate on that. I would guesstimate if Michael Moore wound up seeing her, he'd be like, no. No, just no, ew, no. But, you know, what's kind of funny is because she's such a Democrat, like, I mean, just far left, liberal, one of those types of individuals, like, so far left, she tried to say that she would never have to deal with the death penalty, no matter what she did, because she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed female. And in the majority of individuals' view, she could get away with anything. And because of being a female, she would have all sorts of people that would go and protest to make sure that she didn't get the death penalty. I told her, you better wish you don't do anything stupid enough to actually test that theory out, because I guarantee you, if you are too stupid to realize how this era is going, you will come to find out that no, there will be things that even females get the death penalty for. And she tried to tell me, Christine tried to tell me, that because she's blonde hair and blue-eyed, that she could get away with anything. I said, no, you can't. No, you cannot. You don't understand. And she had this huge thing where she wanted to make every state that is a Republican-known state as democratic as California. I was infuriated. I told her I hoped that there was a way to make sure that those policies that she wanted, no. Not at all. So what's funny is that the current president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, is, you know, from New York, which is an extremely blue state. And I grew up in New Jersey. So New York is obviously above the state of New Jersey, but both are fairly blue states, even though both areas have Republicans in them. And, you know, it'd be interesting if, you know, the current president of the United States of America was like, so I'll be the anti-Christine because, you know, he would know what a good-looking blonde-haired, blue-eyed female would look like and could probably hypothetically look at Christine and point out every single flaw. Much better than I. And, yeah. I would guesstimate Christine probably wanted Hitlery to win, which, you know, I would guesstimate Christine probably cried the day that, you know, who the current president is of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. I voted for him 3 times so far. 2 primaries, 1 main election. And I'm about to do it again in November. And I would guesstimate that probably annoyed her so badly. Oh, that probably annoyed her so badly because I know she had told me she was going to try to get me to see how great Democratic policies are. Now, there are good policies in the social aspect, Governmentally, though, I grew up in New Jersey. I think that I have some experience as far as what democratic policies do. Growing up in New Jersey and going to New York. Just saying. But she, as in Christine, tried to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about. Because just because I grew up in New Jersey didn't mean I understood what Democrat policies were. I don't know. I think that there are some individuals who could probably say, no, growing up in New Jersey is the exact way to know what Democrat policies can do. And so, yeah, Christine and her ultra left aspects of life and stuff like that. And she tried to tell me how I needed to be more sympathetic to these varying different aspects. And it's one of those, I am sympathetic when it is actually warranted. But what you are trying to claim, Christine, it is not warranted at all. So, since I had issues calling 911 for help, not just in reference to that car, the collision in reference to the semi-truck drivers, but also in reference to the apartment I was living in USAA Boulevard in San Antonio, Texas, for the female that wound up needing the police to show up. So much for being for female rights, right, Christine?